What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube once again with one of my top 20 favorite horror movies of all time. I've been doing this countdown from number 20 to number 1, counting backwards, with my 20 personal favorite horror movies of all time. Doesn't make them best or better than any other list, it's just personal favorites of mine that I watch the most, that I love the most, that hold a personal resonance with me. Up to number 7 now, so if you guys have not seen number 20 through number 8, they are up on my channel now. Go back and watch those. They're all brief reviews of some of the things I enjoyed about each movie, so if you guys want to see 20 through 8, they're on my channel. Today is number 7, and it is one of the newest entries on the list overall. I've been doing a lot of classic like Stephen King stuff and George Romero stuff, and just showcasing a lot of the classics, and I will continue to do so in the next 6 or so entries in my top list. But this is my number 1 favorite horror movie in the last 10 years, bar none, by far. You guys heard how much I enjoy Babadook from earlier in the list, but this one takes the cake. This is my all-time favorite new horror film, so to speak. And most of you guys could probably figure out what it is based on my previous videos and talking about this, but I'm obsessed with this movie. It is 2007's Trick or Treat. That is my number 7 entry. 2007's Trick or Treat. Directed by Michael Dougherty. Fans have been clamoring to see a number 2 for years now for that reason. Trick or Treat is an excellent modern slasher horror anthology. It is 4 stories that intertwine together. They wind up intermingling and making one crazy Halloween night. What I love in my horror films, especially ones set around Halloween, are the ones that have the Halloween fall October feel to them. And this has the environment down to a T. Michael Dougherty directs this very well. You have kids walking the streets. You have all the characters driving up and down. You have all the Halloween atmosphere, the dark skies, the fall air, the trees with the leaves falling off. You have the trick-or-treat environment that Halloween sets a precedent for. And then Trick-or-Treat modernizes and does a good job with. Basically, the film is set around, and again, there are spoilers in this, so if you guys have not seen this, pause it and go watch. Please go watch right away. It's an excellent movie, I promise you. But if you have not seen, go check it out. There are spoilers in this review. Very briefly, I'll cover it. But basically, the film is set around Sam. Full name is Sam Hain. But basically, little Sam, in his orange suit and his burlap sack, is walking around, stalking these characters, making sure they're following the rules of Halloween. And I should have written down the rules verbatim and read them to you guys, but essentially it's like, always check your candy, always keep your jack-o'-lanterns on, stuff like that. Always wear a costume. And throughout the film, you see different trick-or-treaters breaking different rules, to which Sam has to unleash his revenge, because he wants to keep the traditions of Halloween sacred. What an awesome premise. And this little character, Sam, is a great slasher. Eventually, you see his burlap sack taken off, and he has this deformed face. We don't really know the history of Sam. We're supposed to find out in the sequel. Michael Dougherty, please hurry. I can't wait for Trick or Treat 2. But you have 4 different stories in this. One revolves around a principal who comes back from a party, and he's working with his son who wants to carve pumpkins, and there's a kid walking around knocking over jack-o'-lanterns. And of course the principal gives the kid more candy than he's supposed to have, and of course the candy's poison, and the kid winds up being killed. And they take the guy's head, and the principal and the kid wind up carving the kid's head as the pumpkin. And then of course, and some of this stuff is shown out of order, out of sequence. Some things happen before, and they happen at the end of the night, and they cross paths. And all the characters do cross paths in some way, which is cool. It's a great anthology. Every story's cool. Another story revolves around Anna Paquin and her friends, 4 teenage or college-age girls going out to a party, and they're looking for guys. You think the guys are preying on them the entire time. In reality, they're preying on the guys because they wind up being vampires or werewolves or a combination of both. Some sort of evil entity, vampire, werewolves, whatever. They wind up taking advantage of one guy and sacrificing him at this party, and it winds up being the principal from the first skit, which is great. Another skit is kids going around collecting pumpkins, and they wind up befriending this mentally challenged girl who they take down and try to set up a story and scare her, and it winds up being that the story becomes true. These kids are driven by a school bus driver. The parents pay them to drive their deformed children or their mentally challenged children. The parents are tired of dealing with the kids, so they hire the bus driver to drive them off a bridge. But the souls still remain. The bus driver gets away, and the kids' souls still remain haunting this area. So the mentally challenged girl gets away up this elevator shaft, leaving the other kids who were teasing her down below to be destroyed and eaten by the souls at the bottom. And then at the end, the final skit, you see this guy being tormented by Sam, who in the end just wants his lollipop back. He just wants his candy bar. He takes it and he goes away. But there's a knock at the door at the end. You find out this guy in the end, the ending character, the neighbor of the principal from the first skit, is actually the bus driver years later. And he opens the door to trick-or-treaters, and they are the lost souls coming back to haunt this bus driver. So again, you have 4 different anthologies. All are excellently done, well acted, follow the rules of Halloween, good environment. Michael Dougherty does great direction. Sam's a great character. Everything interconnects. I can't tell you enough how cool this movie is. It's like an hour and 35 minutes and it runs fast. Everything just goes smoothly, good transitions, the lighting is cool, and again, every single skit is great. There's no weak links. Lots of good little twists in there, especially the one at the end with the guy being the bus driver. So if you guys have seen Trick or Treat, and I assume most of you horror hardcore fans have, what do you guys think? Is number 7 too high or too low on my list? I debated it going higher because I'm obsessed with this movie. But what do you guys think? What are your lists, and what do you think of Trick or Treat? Tell me in the comments down below. I've got 6 more films, with number 1 being Red on Halloween Day. I'm excited to bring those to you very soon. So what do you guys think? Tell me down below. Until then, lock your doors, stay scared, dim the lights, and enjoy the movies. Happy Halloween, guys.